4 minutes in the final phase of the countdown. As I was saying, that I've now popped up to the commentary box, which is in the Mission Control Center, and I shall be here for the rest of the program. These are the status panels. I'll translate them for you. Autorisation lancement is the launch authorization. État base is the base or the range. Logistics. Sauvegarde is safety. Mesure, measurements. Télémesure is telemetry. Localization is radar. Telecom speaks for itself. Ensemble de lancement is the launch zone. Then we have Vega and the satellites. And Meteo, of course, is weather. So the final countdown started 9 hours and 10 minutes before launch. 5 hours and 40 minutes ago, activation of the telemetry, then an hour later, activation of the onboard computer, loading of the flight program. The mobile gantry was removed 3 hours and 15 before launch, and then 50 minutes before the launcher system was ready, and just under 8 minutes ago, we got the all clear in terms of the weather. Looking good out there. It's actually been rather sunny these last few days. We are heading towards the dry season now here in French Guiana after having had a long, wet and rainy season. Greetings if you are joining us, and an extra special welcome to all the teams at Israel's Ministry of Science and Technology and the Israel Space Agency, who are watching the launch from the Israel Aerospace Industry headquarters in Tel Aviv, who designed and built Optsat 3000 and VENµS. And a very big welcome to all you folk watching us in Italy at the Ministry of Defence, Telespazio and OHB Italia, and of course to everybody watching us on the internet. This is the Vega Launch Zone, SLV, Site de Lancement Vega. Interestingly, it was built on the first Ariane launch pad, Ariane 1.
À tous de DDO, attention pour moins 1 minute. Top, H0 moins 1 minute.
We are 1 minute to launch. Our very best wishes to all the teams, to the Optsat 3000 and VENµS teams, to Arianespace's customers, and the industrial consortia led by Telespazio and Israel's Ministry of Science and Technology. And of course to all the teams on the ground waiting to take over the satellites. Let's sit back now and watch the launch.
À tous de DDO, attention pour le décompte final. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top. Allumage P80, décollage. La propulsion est nominale. Les paramètres bord sont normaux. Le pilotage est calme.
What an amazing sight.
Les paramètres bord sont normaux.
Vega blazing a trail across the night skies here above the Guyana Space Center, heading out north. And we can hear the rumble coming across here now at the Space Center. We broke the sound barrier 31
Acquisition de la
seconds.
télémesure lanceur par la station de Saint-Jean-du-Maroni.
31 seconds after launch, when we reached Mach 1. Getting some great views tonight.
La trajectoire est nominale, le pilotage est calme.
He's telling us that everything's going normally.
Début de la queue de poussée du P80.
We're burning the P80, the first stage.
Séparation du P80.
And it has burnt all its
Allumage
propellant.
du VV-23.
We don't need any more. It falls away. And we are shedding weight. The lighter we are, the faster we go. So we're now burning the Z23.
La propulsion du Z23 est nominale.
It's the second stage. It burns for about 1 minute and 40, and Z stands for Zefiro, which is an Italian type of wind. 23
Le trajet calme, la trajectoire est nominale.
because it burns 23 tons of solid propellant. Look at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, our altitude. We're 100 kilometers above sea level, and that means that we are now basically going into space. We've reached what's called the Kármán line, the border between our atmosphere and outer space, the point where the atmosphere becomes so thin that it can no longer support aeroplanes with wings, and so
Le pilotage
we
est
have to
calme, les
use
paramètres
rocketry
sont nominaux.
to stay up. It was named after the Hungarian-American aerospace engineer Theodor von Kármán, often known as the father of supersonic flight.
Tous les paramètres bord sont nominaux.
He was born in 1881 and died in the 1960s, and he was a director of NASA's Jet Propulsion
Séparation du
Laboratory.
Zefiro-23.
Okay, we have now lost the Z23, and we're waiting for the next stage to switch on. That's called the Z9. Here we go, the scheduled moment for the ignition of that
Allumage du
engine.
Zefiro-9.
And then we'll shortly get the separation of the fairing.
Engage de
There it
la
goes. So we don't need the fairing anymore because we are very outside the atmosphere now, which is very thin, so there's no friction. We can see our satellites for the first time. Vega was built by the Italian company Avio.
La trajectoire est nominale.